kept seeing a car go into the water. All day they've been showing me reruns in my mind of Adventures with Purpose. VP's gonna find her in the Prosser Lake.
We have found Kylie Rodney's vehicle. Again, our search for Kylie at Prosser Creek Reservoir on August 21st at 10.
There are plenty of questions and very few answers after 4 students at the University of Idaho were found murdered in their off-campus house.
It's like if you look at Ted Bundy's eyes and you look at his eyes, they're the same. Maybe a little bit lighter. The one thing that I keep seeing is curls. So I don't know if he has curly hair or wavy hair, and that might be when it's grown out. I think he elongated, like his face might be a little bit longer. There's a reference to a pointier type nose. He honestly looks a lot like Ted Bundy, but like a jacked up Ted Bundy. Like not as handsome. I keep getting like a security guard or a badge. Like a Brian or something like that. It's because they are going to catch him. Because I'm seeing him in an orange jumpsuit. He wasn't as smart as he thought he was. Okay. He's probably going to go to jail for this eventually. I keep getting December.
The name Richard again.
I also get the name Rick. Damn name Allen is coming in again.
Jailed 50-year-old Richard Allen in connection with the double murder. Teen best friends Libby German and Abby Williams went hiking on a trail and never came home.
Done on November 20th, 2019 at 7:14 p.m. Quentin, but I'm seeing trash and I don't.
9:42 Wednesday morning. Quentin Simon's mom told 911 her little boy was gone.
I do keep hearing a trash truck though. Then I keep hearing the trash truck. It's almost, that's one thing I can't get rid of is the twisting of the trash bag. And so then I'm like, well, is he in the trash? Okay. Unfortunately, I hate to say that. I do hear landfill could be the...
Well, new tonight, a heartbreaking search underway in Georgia for a missing toddler. Police are sifting through trash at a landfill for the remains of 20-month-old Quentin Simon.
And I felt like he was going to be found. That was earlier in the day.
3-year-old boy found alive and in good health.
And I said, like, within 3 miles, but I'm not seeing him being hurt, and I'm not seeing someone coming up and getting him.
And I said, were you alone? Yes.
The main 2 things I keep getting is the wooded area and the shed.
Well, to take cover in that shed.
Late into the night to find.
I see him running to the woods. Oh, I keep getting the repeated image of him running to the woods. Okay. So maybe he decided he wanted to go play and then he kind of got lost in the woods. Be within 2 miles. I keep getting a reference to the edge of the woods. And so he's still alive because I'm not using him to get this information.
Right.
Around in the woods like I can't find my way out. I'm stuck. And I said he's in a bush.
Okay. I went across a field of grass. I came up on some woods. Sure enough, I went in the woods and about 100 feet from where I was at. I think he was in some stickers. There's a lot of stickers and all there.
Tonight in our Missing series, a case that we have heard a lot about from our viewers.
He wants to take me down the road to like a neighbor's house or something, like another farm. I also hear neighbor. He said he knows this guy. He knows him. And he's a neighbor. I don't know what the friends come in.
Suspect, 58-year-old James Brenner, who also happens to be Dylan's closest neighbor in the remote desert area of Lucin.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the Psychic Sleuth channel. So, yeah, today I'm going to be doing something that I promised you guys I would do. I'm going to try it with Lizzie. We're going to see how it goes. I'm going to try to do an Into the Mind reading on Christopher Preciado. I'm saying that wrong. And I'm sure that I'll see more on the situation that happened because, or that allegedly happened. Because I've been seeing it for the last few days, and this was like, okay, I need to do this. Now, when I did the reading, for some reason it was extremely dark. I only got bits and pieces, and I struggled with seeing this guy. I saw the dad more than I saw this guy. I struggled with seeing him because sometimes I'll see it through a perpetrator's eyes. So sometimes when I can't see the perp
For one, it's because Spirit doesn't want to show me for whatever reason. For two, I could be seeing things through their eyes, or sometimes like they just, Spirit doesn't know how to show them to me. So sometimes they're clearer than others. I can't control what I get. So I realize the information's out there and everything, but if we go back to the readings, all this was there in the cards, basically. I mean, the cards was, I think, more accurate than my reading, because in the cards we literally got family card, family dynasty, spouse, female, father, and child. I think all in one time. And it felt like there was a father. I thought it felt like a daughter energy, but I mean, he does look very feminine, or he puts off that sort of kind of both energies for some odd reason. So, you know, and there was a mention of 3 people, but I remember I felt 3 energies, but I don't know. This was really confusing to me, because it was like I was picking up more on the family than I was on him, which is really odd. Which, again, also too, if maybe he's being protected by the dark, maybe, which a lot of these people are sometimes when they commit things like this, because we did pull certain cards that could seem that way. So anyways, I'm going to do the best that I can. I'll give you guys what I get. Like I said, I realize some stuff's out there. I've tried to stay away from. I have not looked at the affidavit. I've tried to stay away from the affidavit. I've tried to stay away from a lot of other stuff, so that I don't know things, because I feel like when I know things, it really tarnishes the reading. And actually, I don't like doing readings on things when there's already stuff out. But this situation, I keep seeing a vision over and over, and I just need to get it out, so that it will literally stop. So all the ways to support me are down below. This is for alleged all entertainment purposes only. Everyone's innocent until proven guilty. And I'm going to just kind of explain how I work. So information comes in, can be past, present, future. It can be symbolic, not always literal in the way that I see it, or have multiple meanings. Spirit often uses my references, experiences, how I relate to things to try to explain what they're wanting to say. So Lizzie is going to validate information that comes in that she knows, or just say yes if she doesn't know, to kind of keep the energy flowing. And so I'm sitting there giving someone a reading instead of just giving myself a reading. It just makes the energy bounce back and forth. So this is a little different because I'm not really communicating with Spirit on this one, although Spirit may tap in. I'm working with Christopher, or I'm trying to get into his mind and see things from his energy and viewpoint, maybe his higher self kind of thing. I just want to see what I can pick up in regards to, like, from his viewpoint and his psychological stuff. I did this with Idaho 4 after he was arrested. And I did get future information on how things were going to go with that as well. So I kind of wanted to do something similar on this, because I was already getting certain things about this kid. So hopefully we'll get a little bit more personal information. Hopefully we'll get a bigger picture and a different picture. And we'll see how it goes. So if I don't really get anything from him, I might try to call in a consultant, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to pick up stuff from him, because I already felt kind of a little nauseous. So all right. I hope I explained everything. I don't know. Just keep in mind, you know, that things can come in around the case, around the perp, around the victims. And sometimes I do get interconnects. Normally when I work with Spirit, I get interconnects. I don't know about when I work on Into the Mind. I haven't done that many of them. I've only done just BKs. So it's something that I'm still learning to do. It's not anything that I'm great at. So I'm not trying to be a psychologist. I'm doing this from a psychic mind reading type thing. Okay. All right, I'm gonna bring on Lizzie. Okay. Okay. I know you sent me something, but I can't see that right now. I don't want to see anything yet anyways. Get out of here.
Alright, so the only picture I could find is him with glasses. I wish I had one without, but glasses I can normally work with. We'll see. So hopefully this goes okay. Alright. Dude, I feel like this kid's had like behavioral problems up to this, but maybe they were ignored by the parents. You know, because it comes across as like it may be little petty things or whatever, but there's some sort of behavioral things or some sort of warning signs there that I don't feel were either recognized or noticed by the parents, whether it be they're working so much or whatever that may be. Or they're just trying to say like it's teenager stuff or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Because they show me kind of what they have before when we go into psychopaths. The electricity on the brain, they're giving me that.
Okay.
And I also get fantasies. There's a reference to, I don't know if he liked to draw. So I'm wondering if we go back to the graffiti, if there's more than one meaning with that graffiti, if he liked to do drawing and graffiti as well. But I'm wondering if like he used to have some kind of crazy drawings, like maybe graphic. Because it's coming across as like a fantasy thing. And yes, I know he played video games, but I'm hearing like gun shooting in my head. Like if because my son played, and you know how like when they play those games or those, that's what I keep hearing.
Okay.
You know how they do in the video games. Like that's what I keep hearing in my head. And I see him with like earphones on playing that way. So I don't know if he played, you know, sometimes these kids, they play like the multi-person with other people. It kind of feels like that, but it feels like his games are really graphic.
Okay.
And it's almost like he puts off the energy of, I want to be someone bigger. I want to be like, I don't know, because this felt planned. So I don't know if he thought that Matt was a punk, but it's almost like he knew him or followed him from somewhere, but I get like running around like in the same circles. You know what I mean? Like they're in the same circles. So I don't really know where this connection comes from, but it's like they keep showing me circles, like they ran around in the same circles or knew the same people or something like that. And I just wonder if this is someone that he's sold to before as well. Like a previous client, you know, like Christopher was a previous client. It might not have been a lot, but I hear prior messages, so I don't know if there was prior messages between Matt and him, or he used to follow Matt or something, or watch certain things. Because I keep getting the flash the money, so it's almost like he saw the stuff that Matthew had. But there's also a reference to like him wanting to kind of be in those shoes, like eventually maybe become kind of do what Matt was doing. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's almost like I get this energy of like I want to be I kind of want to do the same thing. I want to make that kind of money, like that kind of feeling.
Okay.
And like feeling like maybe Matt didn't deserve it, or that he was also, I keep getting like you're a punk B. Like I keep hearing that. And I feel like it comes across as Christopher allegedly could be two different people. He could be this person that seems nice and everything, and then he can come off as like a cold, calculated person. So it's almost like there's two sides to him. One that he showed people and one that he was.
And I don't know if that means that he was also hearing, like, I don't know if that means if they're saying, like, he's got dual personalities, or if it's just, you know, he was two different people sometimes. Because I keep getting this, like, kind of split.
Okay.
Because I feel like, again, although there was warning signs at some point, whether it be just, but I also hear the word withdrawn. So I don't know if sometimes he was also withdrawn, but at the same time, I feel like he knew people or had, you know, like he had friends and stuff, but it's almost like stoner friends or people that were into that stuff. But it comes across as like he wanted to be like a gangster. That's what's coming across.
Okay.
And whether that's just like it's almost like he wanted to be like the people in the video game too, like that persona of the video game, like that's what he wanted to kind of be.
Okay.
Because this is coming across as like it was easy to trap. It was easy to trap him because he doesn't come across as someone to be scared of.
Okay.
He almost comes across too as maybe a little like I said, I kind of get like male-female energy with him, and it's not just the way he looks. It's almost like there's maybe he was confused about it. I don't know. That's hard to say because I don't really understand that feeling. It's like I kind of get an energy, a feeling of both here. But it's definitely like psychopathic tendencies. And I feel like also maybe possibly a personality disorder, but it comes across as you wouldn't really expect like him to be like this. You know what I mean? Except for maybe he might have showed certain people his true colors. But I feel like he was also manipulative. Like he's a manipulative type person. You know how sometimes people can make you feel like they're one way, but they're really another, but they manipulate you into thinking they're one way? Like, I really feel like he was maybe manipulative with his parents, or even maybe a little scared. Like, they might have even been a little scared of him. It's kind of weird that I'm feeling that. So I don't know if, like I said, like he puts up a front, like it's almost like I keep getting like he's two different people. It's so weird. It's almost like, I seem like a normal kid or whatever, but then there's this other side to him that's almost like evil, or it's odd. It's almost like I feel like his parents might have been a little afraid of him for some reason. It's kind of weird to feel that way, but you know, sometimes these kids, like, you don't know what's going on in people's homes. Like, sometimes these kids are like this, they show signs, and then like the parents kind of get a little like scared of their kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm explaining that feeling right, because it's more like it's what I'm feeling than anything else. But it's also like I feel like there's this boiling hate for Matthew. Whether it was like he was watching him on social media and he didn't really like the way he was, but almost like I feel like too, like he wanted to maybe take over his empire. Like it comes across as he wanted to kind of be, maybe he felt like he didn't deserve all of that, but he wanted to be, I don't know. I wonder if he had wanted to like be in a gang or something like that at some point, or because I mean, I literally see him taking the gun out of like a drawer or something. I've been seeing that all day, like almost like the gun was like in a nightstand or something like that, and he went and got it. Like he took the gun, he took the gun with him because this was something like he planned. Like I think he planned to rob them, but and maybe even execute the way that it comes across. Like, I just think he's kind of young and immature. And so it's almost like he has these big thoughts of doing things, but he's young and immature and can't really get away with it. I don't know if that makes sense either. Like, he's not like this criminal that would be smart enough to handle something once he's done it. But he comes across as someone that's like, oh, I'm big and bad and I'm going to do this. You know, does that make sense? I don't know. Yeah. I'm trying to like explain the feelings of it, but I don't even know if I'm making sense.
I think you're making sense.
Because it's almost like I'm big bad, I'm gonna carry this off, but I don't think I'm gonna get caught. But at the same time, I'm not smart enough to get caught, and that's when I gotta call mommy and daddy to help me figure this out. Because it's like I go in with big britches on, but then I get in too deep. That kind of feeling, I guess. Or and I feel like too, like he still feels a little like immature. Like there's like an immaturity to him as well. Like almost like how kids throw temper tantrums. It's like that. Like I don't get my way or I want something, like I'm gonna act out till I get it. It's almost like that kind of feeling.
Okay.
That's why I'm having such like a hard time like describing feeling, because it's more like when I get it into the mind, it's a lot of feelings. It's a lot of trying to describe like personality and feelings, and it's kind of hard to do that. I hear no remorse. Like he doesn't have remorse for this at all. So that's like the psychopathic tendencies. And I get like, it's weird because I got 15 in the reading, but I'm getting 15 again. So I don't know if there was some kind of shift and change around 15 where he started showing certain signs or something like that. But it's almost like I feel like his friends, like he was hanging out with maybe people that were doing like this kind of stuff, like either selling or doing the D's, like that kind of thing. Like he had a lot of like the circles, you know what I mean? Like the circles seem to be all, it's like they're drawing circles, like the circles that they're drawing symbolically are all interconnecting. So the way that I take it is like the circles all connect, like different circles of people that all connect to one person. So maybe all the circles that Matt was selling to, like they all kind of, I don't know how to explain it. It's like they keep drawing circles, all interconnect with each other. Is the best way I could explain it. I'm getting a headache again. And it's right here on my right side. So I think he walked there. Wherever they were meeting, he walked to meet them. Which I'm kind of confused because like into the mind reading, it was so strong that how I felt like I was in a car and I was pulling up into somewhere. That feeling was really strong. They couldn't get rid of it. So I don't know exactly where that was or what that was about either. But because that would have all been on video camera if it would have been at the parents' house. But it's like I feel like so it's almost like he so in the card reading I actually got telegram that maybe he was a part of the telegram or something of that sort, and that's why he set up the deal. But it almost comes across as like I want to buy, let's say ganja. I don't know. But at the same time, like it's almost like he wanted something. See, it's almost like I wonder if this was even in the long run about the D's, or it was just about taking Matt out. You know what I mean? Because it's almost, or like I'm setting up to buy D's, but I don't really want them.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm making sense. This is almost like it seems as like a drug or DD gone bad,
But the thing is it's like a way to get him alone or a way to meet him instead of actually buying them. It doesn't mean he didn't buy from him before.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Like it was more personal.
Yes. It was more like a personal thing. Like, for some reason, there's a vendetta here. Whether it's, I really can't understand like the reasoning other than I'm a psychopath. I want to outplay my fantasies, and this is the guy I want to do it on because I don't like him, or who he is, or what he's, for who he is. Or maybe it'll make me look better if I take this person out, because I don't know if he was trying to impress somebody. It's kind of a weird feeling. But that's why I keep getting like the setup feeling, and that came in from the beginning. Like, we got set up and trapped. But it's almost like I feel like they pulled into a parking lot, and then he gets in the back of the car. But I think he walked there, because I can hear his feet. I can hear like his, how shoes sound kind of on the sidewalk. I can hear like, and I feel like he put, was it cold this night? It's almost like he's got a hoodie on, and like he's got his hands in his pocket. Like if you were kind of chilly and you're walking down the sidewalk with like a hoodie on, like I keep getting that too. I mean, you would think that but was he leaving from their house? It's almost like I feel like he was leaving from somewhere. I wonder if he was somewhere else before that. Remember, I got the party card because I wonder what surveillance they have. Like if they have surveillance of him walking away from the house, because it's almost like I wonder if he was somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Wherever he was at, he was in walking distance to where he was meeting them at. And what I kept pulling up, like what I kept getting when we were kind of just chit-chatting, is I kept getting a bullet lodged in a telephone pole.
Huh.
Which is really freaking odd. But it's like a repeating image, and I keep getting a parking lot too. Like a parking lot, like behind, like it wasn't on the street. Like it's like, because I see, this is how what I keep seeing. I'll just explain it to you guys. It's like I see the kid, or I see Matt and Savannah pull into, like, how like how it looks like when you pull into like a parking lot or something like that, and then you have somebody coming from far away, like walking up to the car like that, and they didn't take him as a threat because they're like, he's a young kid.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm watching from a distance of them pulling into the parking lot, but it's like behind somewhere, and it feels like it's kind of like there's not a lot of people, like maybe an abandoned building or just like a parking lot that doesn't have a lot around it. Like it's really dark. I get a few street lights and I get some trees around there. But and it's like he's walking from another direction, like across the parking lot. That's the way I keep seeing it. And I don't think they took it as a threat because he's like a 19-year-old kid, or a young kid. Like they kind of, I think, knew who he was. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't think they took it as a threat because he's a young kid and they didn't think anything of it. Back of my head's hurting. So it's almost like I slide in the back of the seat. What's interesting is because I remember when they were missing, I kept seeing like a guy in the back seat, like waving a gun, and there was a lot of yelling and stuff, but I don't know. It's almost like this was, so he's got this gun. Oh, I guess I have to cut that off. He got this pew pew. Shoot, I'm gonna have to edit that out, I think. I don't know what I'm allowed to say anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. They're changing all the.
Yeah, it's like in his waistband or something like that, or. But the way that he slides it out is very. See, I wonder where Matt's was, because It's like Matt didn't even have a chance to react. Okay, hold on. I keep losing his picture. It's almost like there's a little bit of talking going on. Like he acts like he's gonna do a deal. But it's weird because Christopher's really, really calm. Like almost too calm. Like that kind of like calmness that scares you calm. You know what I mean? But I'm not being nice. I'm being calm. I don't know if I'm making sense, but it's almost like he slides into the back seat. I feel like he got on Savannah's side in the back, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's the side I want to slide in on. Like I'm sitting behind Savannah. So that Matt's in the front and I'm talking to him this way. That's the way it comes across. And I'm trying to kind of hear what was said. There's some kind of talking. I keep hearing like punk B. Like you're a punk B. But there's something that it wasn't. So I'm like, I don't even know if this was like over D's or it just seems that way. You know? Like it was a setup for that, but the whole thing was to take him out. There may have been some argument over the D's. I think Chris like handed him some money, but it's not enough. But Chris knew it wasn't enough. Allegedly. It almost like that's kind of like what starts everything. But it's like he takes out the pew pew and holds it to Savannah's. And like behind the seat. But I see Savannah like she like keeps turning around like looking and she's giving like side eye to Matthew. Like that's what I keep seeing. Like what the hell's going on kind of thing.
Okay.
And he tells him it's almost like put your hands up. Like because he knew he carried a piece. Why I'm even calling it that. It's not my lingo. And Matthew's begging, like, I'll do anything you want. I'll do anything. You can have all this. Have everything. I'll do anything you want. Just don't hurt her. Don't hurt us. Like, there's a lot of, like, you know what I mean? Like, some talking back and forth, begging kind of thing.
Like pleading.
Yeah, like pleading, like, don't hurt her. You could have anything. You could have all this. Just let us go, man. Just let us go. Just let us go, man. You can have all this. I'll give you all the money I got. Just let us go, please. Like, there's that kind of feeling. Because I keep hearing it. Just let us go, man. We won't tell anybody. And I feel Matt wanted to reach for it. Matt's pew pew is missing too. So and you know what? I was wondering if he took it because maybe he didn't feel the threat, but I feel like he took it everywhere. So I wonder if he forced him to hand it over by threatening Savannah.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean? That's not very clear, so I can't say that for sure. But it's almost like without hesitation, he pew-pews. I don't even know how to say it. I want to say assassin. I don't know what I'm allowed to say. He assassinates Savannah. And then it's like all quick. I see
Matthew grabbed the door and tried to run. I'm trying to see if I see anybody else around, because what's really confusing is, like, how did he overpower this dude? You know? It's almost like, it's like Matthew knew he was next, and there was nothing he could do for Savannah, so he was going to try to save himself because it's too late for her. It's not like he could do anything, and he doesn't have any way to fight this person. You know what I mean? Like, he just saw a cold-blooded thing, like fight or flight. It's like that. Like, I grab, because I see him like grab the door handle, like, to take off. He's gonna make a run for it. And this is why I think there's asphalt, or, like, you know how sometimes, like, there's a little bit of dirt on asphalt, but you could hear it, like, when people's shoes, like, are running on the asphalt and they're kind of like slipping. Like, that's what I keep hearing.
Okay.
How'd this guy freaking catch up to him? It's weird because I'm seeing, I didn't see all this stuff before. I don't know why I didn't see it. It's kind of annoying I didn't see it before. It's like there was a block on it. So weird. Just makes me wonder if, like, the dark was protecting him a little bit, because I do think that, I don't know, there's some, like, weird, like, dark feeling around him. It's almost like Matthew, he goes to run, but this dude's, like, I think he's faster and stronger than he looks. Like, thicker, or, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But so Spirit never shows me that he, like, does anything weird with him. You know, I know a lot of people were saying, like, he was this and that, but I don't ever see that. That doesn't mean it didn't happen. It's just because I won't see everything as much as I want to see everything. Like, this is like a movie playing out, but they still won't. I wish I saw everything, but it doesn't. Mm. I don't know. Because I'm trying to see if there was SA involved at any point, like, because you're a PB, you're a punk B. You know what I mean? Like how they do. Like, I'm making my B. I'm trying to. I don't even want to say that because I don't know. This was all really quick. Like, it happened, like, really fast. So I don't think there was time for that. It's like he grabs him. But it's like he grabs him with one hand and holds the gun, the pew pew, with the other one. And the door's open. I'm not far from the door. Well, I'm a little bit far from the door. I keep feeling like I wonder why I felt like I was pulled up into somewhere before. It was such a strong feeling. I'm not understanding why I felt like that before. Because this way I'm feeling like I'm in a parking lot. Because I can see, like, you know, in the parking lot, because it's like in the distance, or because they're like parked in the. You know how, like, they have, like, those cement things for parking spaces? I keep seeing it. I don't know why they're showing me that, but it's like there's another word which came in the reading.
I wonder if he hit him on the head with it. Because that would kind of make sense. Like, someone like knock him out or hit him in the head to like make him like disoriented and I can't really fight back that much. Because it's almost like when I go to grab him, it's like bam, like if I hit him like with maybe like the end of the weapon or something. Because it'll slow, you know what I mean? It'll slow him down, and it's like I almost like pick him up by like the collar or something, and that's when I do what I do.
Okay.
So there'll be stuff like on the ground at this parking lot, obviously. And then it's like I'm dragging with two hands. Like, you know how you grab somebody by the shirt and like drag them like this? Like you're backing up, like, and you're dragging them by the shirt, but you're like bent over backing up. Like that's what I keep seeing. And I can hear it. And I think that might be how, like, it's almost like he dragged him into the back seat. And, like, I think that might be how his pants came down. Because you know how guys like him, they always wear their pants loose.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're pulling someone up into a car, like, say, you pull them in halfway and then you go to the other side around, open the door, and then pull them in the rest of the way, sometimes their pants will come down, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of what it feels like, and it's like I'm not going to take the time to move him again because he was heavy enough getting him here, allegedly. So that's why he didn't pull his pants up and fix him or anything. It's like I'm just going to leave him like this because I don't want to pick him up and fix it. You know what I mean? Like that's what it comes across. Because I can literally see him like pulling him like that, and then it's like I pull him halfway into the car, and I go around, I open the door, and I pull him in the rest of the way. And as I'm pulling him, that's why I think it was like that. But I feel like again when he pulled because I'm like, what about the car seat? So it's like, you open the door. I think the car seat was behind Savannah's, or it was somewhere in the back seat. I don't know if it was in the middle, maybe. But it's like I take that out, and I gotta find some place to put it. It's not gonna fit in the trunk, so that's why I put it in her lap.
Okay.
I gotta fit Matt's body there. I don't got nowhere else to put him.
Okay.
And I gotta drive the car. I mean, what he could have done is just left the car there and took off. But he didn't.
Yeah.
Then that's when I feel like he called dad allegedly, and but I think he told them it was self-defense. I don't think he said, "Oh, I just unalived them in cold blood." Like they came at me. He made this whole story up of self-defense. And dad, I'm gonna go to jail. I need your help. That kind of thing. Like he almost manipulated them and like put on this whole act, because I feel like he's good at putting on an act and faking about who he was, especially towards his parents. He put on this whole act like he was the one in danger, so they were in a way. I mean, yes, they're involved, but they were in a way believe that he was like being attacked.
Okay.
And he defended himself because that's the way he made it seem to them. So I'm not condoning what they did, but I'm just saying that I think they thought the story was a completely different story than what it was. Like there's a manipulation here and lies on, and that might be why I got the lies card, because it's interesting. I've noticed since I've started using cards, Spirit will bring up cards that I've already gotten and remind me I got them and like say this is why we got this.
Mm-hmm.
So this might be where the lies come in at. Like he lied to his parents about what really happened. It's weird. I don't know why I didn't get all this before, but I mean, I'm looking at him and he experienced it, so I'm probably seeing it like from his vantage point.
Yeah.
I
mean,
but
it makes
because I didn't look at the affidavit or anything, so I don't really know. I know people try to like, and every time they try to let stuff slip, I'm like, don't tell me, because I'm not done yet, because I feel like I've been seeing this for like 3 days now of Matt running, and I never saw it before, but I kept seeing Matt run, Matt run, Matt run, like after Savannah, like because I feel like Savannah was first. And I think she said something to tick him off too, because I think Savannah was a little hood. You know, she could be a little hood. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I think she might have said something too that like kind of maybe irritated him. Like in the middle, it feels like it's a bunch of arguing in the car at some point. But now I'm kind of stuck. I'm trying to see where I'm trying to see, because I was wondering if like he was driving but he switched with someone else at some point, but I don't know. I'm not. I think he just looks, because like when I saw that surveillance in the vision in the Autowrite that I got, it is like I went under a light. And like the surveillance caught me, but it looked like a female driving, but I mean he looks feminine, so it's hard to tell. Like visions are extremely clear, they're blurry.
Yeah.
And this is all happening in the dark, which I think is interesting, because every time I saw it in the dark and we didn't know the time. And I guess it was before midnight, so it would have been really freaking dark. So it makes sense. They were trying to show me the time of day, because I think everybody thought it happened earlier in the day or something like that. But I kept getting like dark time, nighttime.
Yeah.
And someone said in the comments that it was interesting that my alarm card says like 5 before midnight. I got midnight somewhere too, like in a reading before this. But I find it interesting about like how Rachel's has interconnected. For anybody who hasn't seen that video, Rachel's interconnected, Delphi interconnected with this, with getting the name and the like image of the dad, which I don't know why I would get in like that. He's not a huge part of the story, allegedly. I don't get it, unless like he's more connected to things like we don't know about. It's just so weird. I don't know. Spirit works weird sometimes.
Wait, Rachelle, hold on 1 second. I gotta pause. Hold on.
I don't know. It's almost like I feel like I'm calling dad in a panic. But I'm not giving him the right story. There might even be like it's so weird that his dad was saying fake news. I mean, of course we don't expect him to admit anything, but I'm just like, why would he say that out of everything? It's kind of weird. That's why I'm saying I'm thinking the reason why he was saying fake news is because his son told him another story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he had a totally different belief of what happened than what actually happened. So the cops are telling him your son did this way, and he's like, no, this is fake news. It's not how it happened. Yeah. It's almost like that might be why I think that might be why. That's the way it's kind of coming across. But it's almost like 3 miles. Like there's a 3 mile radius I keep getting. Well, I was getting 5 miles before, but it's like they're bringing it into like more of like a 3 mile radius, and I'm not, or a 3 block radius. There's something with like, I know that there's 3 people. I know that it was like 3 days before they were found, but there's another 3 connection, but I want to put it in like
reference to maybe where they were. So it's either 3 blocks or within 3 miles. Now that doesn't mean it's fully 3 miles, because I think it's more like a half a mile. It's just like that's like a radius I'm getting from like where this happened and everything.
Okay.
You know, like they're just giving me like a radius, but I think maybe like not even a half a mile. Like or it could be like 3 blocks. I don't know how many 3 blocks. I don't know. Feeling like a 3, like in regards to this. I don't know. It's got to be like in a parking lot somewhere though, like, because that's what I keep seeing. But it's almost like he's I think he had to be the one driving. I don't see how else anybody else would be driving the car. It doesn't make any sense, because then he wouldn't stop. But it's almost like, then dad calls mom. Well, I don't know if mom was there. This is all alleged. And it's like, they were there to help him. It's like they came to help him, like his dad was trying to be a little bit smarter about it by like wiping stuff down, but I think like again there's gonna be a partial print or something. There's DNA and all that. Like this is the most sloppiest thing. And that's why I think it was planned. It feels like it was planned to happen, but I feel like in the aftermath is what he didn't plan. Or there's like a sloppiness there where it's like I have all this idea of how I'm gonna do it and get away with it, and we're gonna make it look like maybe that's why they were the way that they were, is because he was making it look like it was something else that it wasn't. Besides the fact that he plays a lot of assassination games. It's almost like playing out a fantasy of some sort. Like, what's that one game? Freaking where you like get like they pull over and get like streetwalkers and
Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, that's almost like that. Like I'm getting that reference. I mean, not he just tried to steal the car, but you know what I mean. I'm getting the reference to like. I wonder if he played. I'm getting a reference to that, but and I always said like I felt like they picked that apartment for like a reason, and the reason could just be like they knew about it. They know it's a sketchy apartment. They could put him there and make it seem like, okay, this is a bad area. This is a sketchy place. Like they're gonna think somebody else did this. You know what I mean? Like it comes across as that, and that might be why I think they put him there, is because they were trying to put him in a sketchy place to make it look like somebody else did it.
Makes sense.
Like I don't think they thought they were gonna be caught on camera at all. Like at all. But then the reason why they come back with him is because they take him home. He doesn't walk or nothing. Like they're all in the car at the end. They're all in the truck at the end.
Okay.
Allegedly. But like they weren't smart. They didn't get rid of the pew pew. They didn't get rid of the weapon. But I think he took Matt's stuff. Like he took his money. He took the D's. He took I think because I'm saying I don't think that Matt thought there was any kind of danger or anything, because it comes across as like this is just like a normal thing, and it's just a kid that I'm giving stuff to, and I know the kid, so I don't think there was any danger, but I still think he carried all the time. I just think maybe he couldn't get to it. Maybe it was in the glove compartment or somewhere he couldn't get to it,
Okay.
Because it's almost like he's showing me the glove compartment, like maybe it was in the glove compartment, he couldn't get to it. And I think Savannah maybe knew it was there and maybe thought about reaching for it.
Okay.
But so where is that? That's somewhere. I'm wondering if he has all that stuff, what he did with it. It's almost like he stashed some of it, but he didn't really get rid of anything. That's the crazy thing. Why are you gonna hang on to all that evidence? Keep getting reference to his closet. Get a bag in his closet. Or something.
Which, like I'm saying, I think the cops might have everything or something. Because he definitely took everything. Because he took pictures of the money. I do know that. But I also think he took whatever D's he had on him as well.
Okay.
And everything, you know, like the pew pew. They said that was missing, so obviously he took that. I don't know why Matt would carry all that on him, but I think maybe like stashed it in his car or something. I don't know. It's kind of like dumb to like carry all that on you. But I mean, I guess he was flashing it everywhere. He was proud of it. You know, I was 22 once. I wasn't the smartest. Hen in the hen house with stuff. He was just too flashy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not the only reason this happened. Like I said, it's like there's something about like you're a punk B and I don't like you and I'm gonna live out my fantasy because you're a punk B, and like I think he really felt like he was gonna get away with it somehow. Like in his like mind is like delusional. Like he thinks like he's in a video game or something. Because I don't know why he would ever think he would get away with this. And I like with him like being obsessive and like he was watching. I already know he was in the group. So, but if it's coming in, it's like I'm watching all these groups and I'm watching TikToks or whatever I can watch about it because I want to see what people are saying. It's more like, and I also get that feeling. You know how like SKs like how they want to be famous, go down for this regardless. Like they don't even care.
Mm-hmm.
Like he didn't even have any like sympathy for the fact that she was pregnant, and I think he knew she was pregnant because the car seat was there and everything. And I think at some point Savannah maybe said it. So that's why I don't think that he cared. Like he associated Matt to her. So it didn't like, you know what I mean? Like they're the same to him kind of thing.
Okay.
He doesn't have remorse because he's a psychopath. Because they get like that psychopath energy, that SK energy. Like if he wouldn't have got caught for this and he was still out there, like this wouldn't be the first time he would do this. He would do this again. And because I keep getting reference to the SK cards I pulled 2 of them. I pulled one, carries the energy of it, and then there's that SK card. So he carries that like psychopathic tendencies of that. Like once he got the taste, he would have done it again if he wasn't as stupid about it. Like he had like the thirst or the zest. This is all alleged thirst or the zest for it. Like he wanted to be like in a video game or do with like I get that kind of like fantasy fulfillment kind of thing. And like he did it. It wasn't nothing. Like I feel like the act of like he put onto his dad. It was just an act. Like how panicked and stuff. Like because he's very calm when he gets out of the car. It's not like somebody like, oh, I just unalived 2 people and I'm in a panic. Are you kidding me, dude? If I did something like that, I'd be running around like a chicken with my
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? When I get nervous about stuff, like when there was a snake in my yard, I'm running around the house like not doing anything, but I'm trying to figure out what to do. Like that's how I would be. And I think a lot of people will be that, but he's so calm, cool, collected. I'm just driving a car with like 2 deceased people in it. Like, what kind of person does that? I mean, they could have just left them where they were too. That's why it kind of, you know, and I think maybe more like the parents were trying to be like, oh, we're gonna make it look like this. That's why we're parking here because it's a shady area. We're gonna make it seem like it was a, you know, some of these G bangers around here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think the dad also in the groups because it's almost like the dad and like everybody's watching these groups now. Or everybody's watching the TikTok videos. Everybody's watching all the YouTubes. Like, I think they were in YouTube lives. I think they were in TikTok lives. I think they were not just in the groups. I think they were everywhere watching everything to see what everybody was saying. And they thought they were all going to be good because they were, huh?
The mother was in one of them.
because it's like all three of them. I'm getting all three of them are in, and
Allegedly.
I didn't know that. Allegedly, I only knew that he was. People were saying he was, but I didn't know that all three of them were. So this is coming in from this reading. That
I didn't
like all
see
three
if
of
Dad
them,
was in them, but it wouldn't surprise me if
allegedly, like all three of them they're all watching YouTube videos, they're all in the YouTube chats, they're all in the TikTok chats. They thought they were going to get away with this because all the finger pointing at everybody else. Until that security camera came out. And that freaking security camera came out, they freaked out. Which is weird. Why didn't they get rid of the evidence? That makes no sense. Like, why are you going to hang on to evidence? Almost like begging to be caught or begging to be, you know what I mean? That's what doesn't make sense to me. Like, are you really that dumb criminally challenged that you hang on to everything? Well, I guess BK allegedly drove around in almost like a rolling crime scene, but I mean, and you know, you still keep the car and they're looking for the car or the truck, but it's almost like, I don't know. It's just weird. That's just odd. It doesn't make sense to me unless they're just like not criminally like advanced, like they never watched a true crime documentary in their life. I don't know.
Well, they probably didn't think their son allegedly would be calling them to say
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, even that, like, even then, it's almost like you have all this evidence, kid. Because unless he didn't tell them, he took it. But I mean, if she knew that he used that weapon, then why didn't she be like? Why would she just say like, put it back? You know what I mean? Because it's almost like it was found like in the same place it was kept or something. I keep getting the reference to like being taken out of like a drawer of some kind, like a nightstand drawer or something like that. Like that's what I keep saying.
Very possible. I mean, if they used it for like protection within their home, like.
I mean, it's all very weird, and I just wonder if like there isn't an OG that Dad knows somewhere, because I picked that up for a reason, but I just don't know what the reason is. You know, and this guy could have been trying to like move up the rank, like make himself look good for, because maybe he wanted to be in that lifestyle. So maybe it's like you take out the big dog, then you know people are going to come to you, like that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like almost a way to get into it or make himself known in that world. Or taking out the competition or taking out someone of this, you know, this respect. Okay. There's something about 5 years. I'm wondering if that's going to be like or 3 to 5 years. I wonder if that's going to be like the parent's sentence, because he's going to get capital. Because I think they're going to, which it'll be like 30 years before it even happens. Because I'm getting 30, so it might be 30 years before he even gets to that point. But because I think they're going to charge him with the baby at full term. Like, so it comes across as like 3 unalivings. Because they keep referencing the baby, but they're showing me like a full term baby. Like, that's what. I'm wondering though, if like when she started panicking, I wonder if she started to go into labor, or there's something like she started cramping or something. There's something like that. But I feel like that she was begging too, like holding at some point, like putting her hand on her stomach and begging and crying. But see, I really think that the parents think a totally different story than what really happened. And I don't know if like, and it's almost like maybe they even think like when the cops are telling them stuff, like the cops are lying, like they believe their kid over whatever they're being told. So that's why I think he's saying fake news. Like that keeps coming up like that. Like it's not what
it's not what the parents think happened, is what really happened. Like, they'll be really surprised when it comes out in trial or whatever. They'll be really surprised, but I think they're gonna seek the DP. I just heard it. But it's almost like he's gonna. I mean, he'll appeal it, but there's almost I don't think he'll get any appeals because it's almost like I get like it won't happen for 30, like either 30 or years or age 30. 30 comes in really, really big. I don't think they're gonna have any mercy, basically because of the baby. Like, I think there would be more mercy if she wasn't pregnant. And that's why this got so big, was because she was pregnant. But I just don't think it would have gotten the way that it did, or how they would have looked at it if she wasn't pregnant. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's really what's making it the capital. And I'd be curious if they didn't find, like, I feel like they're gonna take a laptop or something. I'm obviously gonna take phones. He kept the phone, right? Or something, because I remember the phone kept coming in the reading. I kept pulling the phone card, and I felt like digital evidence phone was gonna like lead the cops to him. That came in the reading.
The phone did lead to him, but they were in the beginning. It was said that the phones were missing, but they weren't. They were in the car. The cops had Savannah's phone, and that's how they found him. Allegedly.
So that's that. I mean, that's probably why the phone and the digital evidence came in the reading. And if people haven't seen I did do one where I kind of combined everything, but I only put what we know. So, I mean, I could pick up things around the case, around the area. So, I mean, that could be why I was picking up a lot of the G stuff. Plus, Matt was into that. You know, we don't know if this kid like knows people like that. He was trying to be in that. You know, we don't know. We don't know. I always tell people, like, just as things don't fit right now, or you don't know them, doesn't mean that's not accurate. We don't know everything about everything, and we might never know everything about everything. We don't know who he's connected to. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know everything about everything. We don't know what fits and what doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
We may never find out everything. So I always tell people, just hang on to it. This is crazy. I wish I would have got these clearer visions before. It's almost like I'm getting more clear visions just by going into his mind then. But he's definitely like got the mental illness, which I pulled the mental illness card. Spirits reminded me of the cards I pulled because I don't remember them. But he's definitely like us. I don't feel any remorse at all with him. None at all. And I don't even feel, it's almost like I don't even feel like he cares what happens to him. Like, that feeling comes across too. You know, like, I don't even care what happens to me. Like, I did what I did, like, and you know what I mean? I don't even think I don't even really think he's scared of being where he's at. But I think they're obviously not gonna put him in Gen Pop because of the woman and baby.
Yeah.
But it's almost like no one really knows who he is because in his mind he's somebody completely different. Like, that's what I keep getting. Like, he's just got these psychopathic tendencies. Like, almost like BK allegedly. Like, it puts up a front. Like, he's no one. There's a lot of people that can't believe that he even did it because he puts up this front like a normal person. I mean, Ted Bundy was the same way. How many people thought Ted Bundy was so charming and such a nice guy and all of this? And I think that's what, because I'm getting those references, especially Ted Bundy, like, because I kind of know a little bit more about him, but it's like, that's the reference. Like, this kid didn't show like his true colors of who he was on the inside.
It makes sense.
And I mean, there might even be like, I'm getting like a reference to like a torture of animals. I hate that. Like, maybe like a cat in the alley or something. Like, I don't even know if it's theirs. It's weird. I don't like those kind of visions in spirit. I don't like them. I can handle people all day, but don't show me the animals. you know?
Yeah.
Unless that's just, it could be symbolic, because it could be symbolic for like he has that capabilities too. But it comes across as like he's done things that we don't even know about or fantasize. I keep getting like drawing in a book or something like that. Like, you know, doodling, like drawing, like maybe not good things too. But the reason why I say, you know, maybe the tagging thing wasn't just for Savannah, like it was a multiple meaning thing, was because, you know, we found his Facebook thing. They had like a tagger on there. That was after the reading. But there's a cartoon of like a tagger. So I don't know if that means he's actually a tagger, or if like he, you know, wants to be, or like an artist or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? He may have tagged somewhere. We don't know.
Yeah.
So it could have been like a multiple meaning thing. You know?
Yeah.
I just think it's weird that I picked up more on Dad than I did him for some reason. And the cards did too. I think I only picked up Child once. All those cards make sense now. Family, family dynasty, female, father, child, multiple people, accomplice. Even if it's an accomplice after the fact. It's had to have happened in a parking lot. Like behind something. That I keep seeing. And I don't know if like the bullets of it's a telephone pole or a tree. I'm pretty sure it's a telephone pole. I also get the number 59. I don't know what that is. Hang on to it. Not a number I normally ever get. I'm getting like weird visions with him, and I don't know like about him in prison. It's kind of weird. It's like it's almost like but I don't know. Like they're not. It's confusing me because I wouldn't think they put him in Gym Pop, right? But it's almost like I see him older, like a part of a gang in there, or something.
Okay.
And then a reference to like a shake. I don't know if that's him, like him getting shanked or somebody else, but I keep seeing that. So I'm getting that, and then I'm getting like him like older, like gang. You know?
Yeah.
He's part of like a prison gang. Like I think that's what he wants. It's so weird. It's almost like he wants to be part of like I wonder if he likes like mafia movies. Because that kind of comes into, or like really like those types of movies, or you know, G&G movies, like that kind of thing. Because I get like he does a lot, like watches a lot of violence or something, or has a tendency towards violence. Like I keep getting like the reference to Scarface. Like maybe he liked that movie or something. I don't know. It's almost like I feel like he's delusional, or his expectations or what he wants to be or do is a delusional kind of thing. Like he's almost got like a delusional feeling to him, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But this was a plan. This was like he was gonna do this. That's why he took the pew pew. Like that's why he set it up and everything. And then it's almost like he tried to make himself look innocent in some way. I don't know. Be nice if those balls went off for me today. I don't know how much else I can get. I feel like I got a lot, but yet I don't remember what I got. I wonder if this was like kind of like set up like months in advance almost, because it's almost like unless he was just following him months ago or like he bought from him before or something like that. I keep getting like a span of like months. Mm-hmm. It's almost like he like because of who Matt was, he became a target for him and what he wanted to do and accomplish. Like this was no accident. This was premeditated, in my opinion, allegedly. He knew what he was going there to do, and it wasn't ever. I don't ever think it was even like a deal. You know what I mean? Like it was more like a setup for a deal, and that's the way it'll look. But that wasn't the full motive for the motive was to trap them and do what he did, like a SK would do. That's what I keep getting. It's like, yes, maybe he was pretending to buy the D's and made it look like a BD gone bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it's like that's not the real motive. But the cops are gonna think it's that motive because that's what he made it look like.
Yeah.
You know.
Sad, so young.
But it's almost like the motive was to, do this and then take what he had and like go down for it if he like be known for it kind of thing. But like in like the bigger circles, I don't know if I'm making sense, but like, you take someone out of the game kind of thing. Like that's the way that it comes across.
If they were so young, he took out people that were so young and had their life ahead of them,
Yeah, but he was not he's around the same age. He doesn't look at it like that. He looks at him as like the same as him, and I'm telling you, he doesn't feel like he doesn't think he's young or feels like he's young. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the age, the gender, nothing, none of that means anything to him. I think like he's delusional. I'm telling you, they're showing me like the brain like Ted does now. Now they use that as a symbolism for like psychopath. Like he's a psychopath. And I feel like he was really good at hiding it for a while, but I feel like there was signs there. Like there's a I hear cunning, but so he was cunning in the way that he did this. It's just he wasn't smart afterwards. Like I don't feel like he maybe thought it all completely out. But he's a compulsive liar, or he's lying because he's going to try to spin it, which no one's going to believe it was self-defense because of how they were unalived. But yeah. I don't like, again, the dad didn't know that when the dad was helping him. I really feel like he manipulated him, told him a whole story about how he felt like he was in danger and these two people were trying to attack him and something went wrong. It's almost like that kind of thing is what he told mom and dad. Like he's very manipulative in that way. He's good at lying. I think he's been doing it for a long time with them about things. And like I said, he's a psychopath. And you're gonna see in court, they're showing me he's like standing there, and he's like got no remorse. It's like there's no remorse. He's just a very hard person. It's just that he's not gonna really come off that way, but I wonder if like Matt ever said anything to him to make him feel less than, like in there, if they ever had any conversations where he like Matt like made fun of him or something like that, because I kind of get that too, like almost like a bullying vibe. And I don't know if that's like he was bullied somewhere else, or if like maybe Matt and him had a conversation at one point and he like called him a name, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that kind of comes into. I don't know. Maybe that's all I'm getting. I mean, I've done this for over an hour, so. I don't know if I've given stuff that we don't already know. Yeah, 3 to 5 for mom and dad. Like, Mhm. They're gonna have to, like, move. It's mostly so much, like, they're just everybody's really ticked off over Savannah and the baby.
Yeah.
I mean, all of them, but I mean, you know, it's like really that's where a lot of the sympathy goes. But all of them, it's a tragedy all around, you know.
Yeah, it's sad.
And you know, Matt and Savannah, they knew like the kind of lifestyle they were in, but they were like he targeted them. He targeted them specifically because I'm sure he could have gotten from anybody else.
Yeah.
But he targeted them specifically. I also am wondering if he was like it's almost like I see him watching. So I don't know if he was like watching when they found the car, watching when they like had the ceremonies for them, but it's almost like I'm in the background watching in some way. You know? Like he really wanted yeah, but he really wanted to see like his handiwork. Or how people reacted to it or what people were saying about it or whatever, you know what I mean? Like that's how it comes across. I just get like a headache with him, and they just put devil horns on him. So yeah, he's pretty evil. But he is like a type of like snake in the grass person, which they're taking me back to that reptilian card that I always get. Like I take it as a snake in the grass. Like he's that type of person. Like he's the type of person you wouldn't expect to do this to you, but
yeah,
you know. And that's why I feel like they didn't feel threatened. And again, there was some kind of business deal, or he knew him, or something prior to this, or they've been in the same circles. I don't know, but or he sold to him before. There's that kind of feeling, and that maybe might be how like he kind of knew him or knew of his business and all of that too. But
I think he was on his Telegram before.
Yeah, that came in the card reading. I like heard it in the middle of the card reading. So.
Because there was a message going around that like he messaged somebody after all this and had asked about him because he went by the name like Flacco and said like usually he responds pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So
it's so weird because in my list of like words I got like Flacco one day. Very similar to Flacco.
And the other thing is like Savannah didn't put the full address in her maps. Just for the street. So like you know how like it's like okay, like let's find the quickest way to get to this street, but once I'm on the street, I know where I'm at type thing.
Yeah. Well, she probably did know where she was.
That's what I mean. She only had like she didn't put the whole address in, it was just
but I don't think this happened in the middle of the street.
No, they like I think they like went to like where the residency was and then like maybe up the road from that, like they were on his street. That's how they linked it back to the dad. In her Google Maps was Christopher's street.
Well, I wonder if it was just like down the street from his house, or maybe they picked him up.
That's what I'm saying. Either one of two things. Either they picked him up and he was in the back seat, or they met him down the street because that's how they did the surveillance and found the truck.
Because that's what I don't get is like I keep seeing him like pull into somewhere and I see like someone walking this way, so that's why I don't understand that. Like I can see that really clearly. So now I'm all confused by that. I don't know. Because he could have like picked them up and they could have went somewhere else, but Like, I don't think it happened like in the middle of the street, the way that this went down. Like, I keep getting a parking lot very clearly. So
yeah, I think this happened in the middle of the street. There'd be
yeah. Plus,
more.
I mean, I could be completely wrong, but I keep getting parking lot. It's just I don't get why. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get why. If the GPS was there and supposedly they picked him up there, he walked down and got in it. Like, why am I getting like him walking from that way? I don't get that. I don't know. So that could be completely wrong, but that's what I see.
Maybe there's a parking lot down from his house or something, or like a park or something.
Yeah, because I mean, GPS can go quite a ways, right?
Yeah, like I said, it was just the street. Like, she just put the street on there, and then they like went, and did surveillance, and they found the truck and stuff.
Which I think I got something like that in the Autowrite, like they were doing surveillance like they did on BK or something. I don't know if that was in the Autowrite or after. But I mean, I got the warrant thing and all that, but I don't know. It's weird because I just wonder. It's hard to tell from a map because I was trying to see on a map, but it's hard to tell like where the parking lots and stuff are. I mean, it could have been like a parking lot, like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe like no one heard or saw anything like in the middle of a like residential area. That's what's weird to me.
Unless it's a high crime area, maybe like if you're used to living.
Yeah, but still, still like you would still hear and see something, and when the people go missing, like I don't know, it's just weird.
I don't know. I lived in North New Jersey. Like we heard stuff all the time, and it's not like you called the cops for every little thing you heard. Like when you hear gunshots a lot, it's like.
I feel high all of a sudden.
Oh boy. There we go.
Oh. I mean, obviously he probably did like smoke and stuff like that. So I'm sure that didn't help the psychosis. So I just wonder if he like had trouble like in school or trouble before this or bullying or something, because there's some kind of that comes in too. But I don't know. So 1:24, 4 o'clock in the morning. We got stuff to do. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. Okay. I'm not really what else is I don't know really much else what there is to get on him anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like that anyways. He just carries that like serial killer vibe, or like that kind of energy is what he carries. Like BK, he carries that energy. It doesn't necessarily mean they are one, but maybe if they didn't get caught, they would be. But I mean, it's like they carry that, the vibe of it or the energy of it, or somebody that would commit things like that.
Yeah.
Like he also comes across as kind of like a school shooter too. Like, which takes me back to Idaho 4 when I kept getting that energy with that too. It's almost like that's just how they try to explain like the personality. So I just wonder if there's any bullying or anything. And maybe he was a little touchy, like maybe if Matt said something like weird to him, I don't know. But I mean, he obviously took the stuff, but I just don't feel like that's the whole motive behind it.
Yeah.
This feels more personal than that. When you unalive somebody the way that he did, it's more of a personal thing. This is like a personal. I keep getting vendetta, like the word vendetta, like the personal or vendetta, and I kept getting like the revenge card and stuff too. So I think there's more tied into it than it's just a D deal gone bad. I think it was made to look like that, but I think this was vendetta, revenge, want to do this to like, also show off, to like some big dogs, that kind of there's like all that kind of energy around it.
Yeah.
But I mean, like it was cold and calculated in the way that it was done. Maybe a little sloppy, but I don't think Savannah and Emma ever saw it coming. Like that's what it comes across. Like they never saw it coming until they were trapped in the moment. They were set up. You know, they never saw it kind of coming.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Tragic.
Yeah, it is. It's very tragic. Very tragic. And didn't Matthew, isn't Matthew's brother Fabian or something like that? Isn't that the name Carrie I was getting?
His brothers, well, he has a couple of brothers, but one is named
I know, but they're naming. Yeah, but no, the other brother. Remember, we saw the post.
Yeah, he put that like his little brother was naming him Fabian, just one letter off or something, like just saying or something like that. He put.
Yeah.
I think they were all excited for him to be dad and for this baby to come. And
well, yeah, and I think they were going to change a lot of things too. Like I said, I feel like they were changing their lifestyle and stuff for the baby. Like that came in.
But I think she was very excited to be a mom.
Yeah. But also there's a name Carrie. You know, there's that name Carrie, but also there's a name Carrie with dad and son on this too, which I thought was interesting. I just get the name Carrie and then I got an R after it, the rating. So I just don't get multiple meanings. Like I always tell people, like numbers, things like this can have multiple meanings. It's not just one meaning. It can have more than one meaning. Like, you know, depending on how you perceive it. We can always perceive the information wrong. Like spirit's never wrong, but we can perceive it or misperceive it. Lately, I just try to like explain what I see because I notice sometimes if I try to figure it out, I misperceive it. So, but I mean, basically, the cards were right on with all of this. If we go back to the cards were like screaming. Now that we look at it, it makes so much sense now. At the time, it's like duh, Rachelle.
Right.
But the cards are new to me, so hopefully the more I use them, the more I kind of understand how they work. But I mean, it was right there in front of my face, so. And I kept feeling the father, but for some reason I just had a like block on him. It's just so odd, you know, like I couldn't like really see him. I'm thinking it was through his eyes because I've noticed on a couple other readings when I see through their eyes, I can't see the perp. But it's weird because I'm doing mediumship, but I'm seeing through the perp's eyes, and then I can't see the perp. The weirdest thing that happened in like Felicity's and a couple other readings, but I noticed like when I can't see the perp, it's because I'm like remote viewed in because I kept like whenever I do things like this, I'll remote view. Like I remote viewed into the back of the car. And everything was not clear. It was all over the place. Like I had a really hard time with it, probably because of the collective and it being dark. Like it was just really hard. Like, and same thing with Idaho 4. I remote viewed with BK in the house, and it was really dark in the house, and I was literally there following him around, and that's why I saw him in all like black and in a ski mask and everything, allegedly. So that's what I'll do is I'll remote view into that area, but it's almost like I remote view. Sometimes I'm the third person, sometimes I'm the person, and sometimes I'm the victim. It's weird. And I don't choose who I am when I remote view like that.
Yeah.
Because like on the airplane, I remote viewed, but I was the third person. Like I was experiencing it. And then in the submarine or whatever it's called, I remote viewed it, but I was the third person. You know what I mean? But it's like I try to be the third person sometimes, and I end up being the perp. So it gets a little confusing because I can't see who I am unless, like, if I were to look in a mirror, maybe.
Yeah.
I can't explain how it works. I wish I could explain how it works. I don't know. So, anyways, I hope this gave some new information. I think I can be done now. I don't see the point to do any more on it because I think I got all the information I'm going to get on it, and I know a lot of people are going to complain that, oh, this information is out, blah, blah, blah. I have not seen the affidavit or anything like that. I try not to know or see anything because this whole time it felt like I was in the situation. So, and sometimes things are not as clear. Sometimes they are. Sometimes we don't perceive it right. Yada yada. So, this is what I saw. That's what I feel. Not all alleged, not fact, but that's what I saw. So, hope this was helpful. We'll see you guys again. Lizzie's got to go. Her kid's up, bugging the crap out of her. I have to go do stuff. So, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye, everybody.
As soon as I find my banner.